Good evening, I'm Brianna Rittman. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. Today, we're getting a preview into the Peoria County School Board meeting that is happening in just under an hour. Then we will discuss plans for an amphitheater in Peoria. And lastly, we're getting some tips during harvest season right here in Central Illinois. But first, we're discussing the Peoria School Board meeting happening soon. Now, we have some big agenda items tonight, including what's happening with Elite and an update on the future of Central Park Pool. WMBD's Cameron Main joins us now to go over what we can expect. Cameron?
Thanks for always having me on, coming on.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, sometimes we like to mix it up,
Right.
I'm back in the hot seat, as you would
right.
say.
Back in the hot seat. So what can we expect from the Peoria School Board meeting tonight?
Well, basically, there's a bunch of agenda items. I think one of the big ones that people are looking at is the superintendent update. But the superintendent update is kind of interesting because they've already voted the search firm, and have they found someone already for the superintendent? It's quite unlikely. So they will give an update, but we're unsure of what the update will be.
Okay.
One of the biggest things is kind of the future of the central pool.
Okay.
And this is, most people in the area know this pool because it's, if you swam in Peoria, you probably swam in that pool and you probably grew up with it. It's pretty old, and that's mainly the problem, is that it is old. It requires almost a complete revamp to rebuild it, and the Peoria Park District that currently owns the pool has gone, we do not have the funds to repair or maintain the cost. So now they're talking to the school board to maybe pick this up and be able to then, since they own it, pay the cost to repair it. So, because I think everyone across the board wants to keep the center pool around.
Okay.
But it's just unclear what the future will be, because can the school board afford it? Well, that's kind of what they're going to discuss.
So they have a pool that's up in the air, what's going on, and then there's also this whole superintendent, even though the search firm has already been selected.
Yes, yeah, the superintendent, it'll be interesting to see what they say. We've kind of given pretty in-depth coverage of the superintendent search firm and how it caused some issues. Another big thing is the Elite program, but I kind of want to talk a bit more about the pool, because I think there's a lot of people that really care about the future of this pool, people grew up with it, and is there just kind of like, what is going to be the future? What's going to happen? Is this pool, if there's not enough money from the school board, if there's not enough from the Peoria Park District, that means there's no one to pay for it. It's just going to lie decrepit.
Right.
Is that the future? Well, I don't think any side wants that.
Okay. And then let's go ahead and circle back to Elite. You mentioned that briefly. What's going on with Elite?
So Elite is a program that works for some of the public schools, and it's basically to help at-risk kids. It's run by this guy named Cannon. That's his last name.
Okay.
And he was a former prison guard, and he's your correctional officer. He's been through the prison system from the outside, and he has seen where people can go if they're not taking care of these at-risk kids. So he's made it kind of a big goal of his to really try and help those kids when he can. So the Elite program tries to help those kids. So it's just going to be a general update how the Elite program is going. We're not exactly sure what they're going to say, but they're probably going to give a couple of updates and be like, hey, it's doing this, probably say some nice things about it, maybe be like, we need this or that. Basically the general gist of it.
I can relate to that. I used to be a correction officer myself.
Oh, really?
In the state of Florida. Yes, I did. So I can see, like you said, what can happen to what the end result can be if we don't start with them young.
Exactly. And it'll be interesting to hear what he says. It's been only a couple of weeks since the Manual High school shootings.
Yes.
Well, not really school shootings, but shootings in the general area.
Yes.
That's quite a difficult situation to be in if you're in that program and you're trying to help at-risk kids, and some of these kids have guns and they're firing them off near school grounds.
We want to decrease that, make it non-existent.
Yes, allegedly though.
Right. So what you're saying is we need to watch you on WMBD News at 10 to get all these updates.
Yes, that's correct. You'll get everything about the school board meeting in the 10 o'clock show.
All right, well, here's a cute story that'll make you smile. Humboldt penguins took some time to enjoy a swim break at the Milwaukee County Zoo. You can see them dip in and out of the water and swim fast underwater. Humboldt penguins are native to South America along the Pacific coast of Peru and Chile.
They're really cute. I love them just swimming around. They kind of float pretty well, which is surprising.
Right.
Because you'd think like a water-based animal would sink. Do you not believe that?
Blubber. Our producer is saying they have blubber, so that's what is helping them.
Oh, okay. They
Yes.
have a lot of fat.
Yes.
So our producer is saying that penguins are fat. Is that what she's saying?
I think, yes, that's what she's saying. They're
Okay,
fat.
okay.
She's standing on that, 10 toes down.
It's 2025. We accept all body sizes here.
Right. No body shaming of
No
the
body
animals.
shaming on the broadcast, especially for penguins.
Right.
We
They're
respect
so cute.
their bodily autonomy.
Right. Well, when we come back on Beyond the Headlines, we've got Alex Berger joining us. We'll hear the recent discussion for an amphitheater potentially being built in Peoria. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines, where we speak with our reporters about stories that matter to you. Now, turning to our next big local story of the day, an amphitheater project that has been rejected more than once may finally have its home. WNBD's Alex Berger joins us now. So, Alex, tell us more about this amphitheater. What changed, why, and why now?
Yeah, so this is a amphitheater that was previously on the Washington City Council's desk, and it is backed by the Hengst Foundation, and it is from Jim Hengst. It is in honor of his wife. He really wants to build a entertainment venue, a music park that will be in a central Illinois community. This has, previously been in Donovan Park in Peoria. The Park District Board denied it. It was on Washington City Council. They denied it. But now Peoria City Council sees it, and they're pretty enamored. This is something that lines up pretty well with them. They have been wanting a entertainment venue on the riverfront for a few years now,
right,
within their revitalization program for the riverfront. So this works out pretty perfectly because they have the money. The Hengst Foundation has the money to do this, so it's kind of a gift for them.
If approved, what does this project entail? How much will it cost?
Yeah. So it will be a 5,000 seat venue on the riverfront. It is supposed to replace the CEFCU Center Stage. Now, it won't go where the CEFCU Center Stage is. If approved, it will go in what is Festival Park, a big grassy area that doesn't have anything on it right now. There's a lot of stipulations involved in this. There's a lot of things that they have to go through. But basically, tomorrow night's agenda, it would be going through those details, going through the letter of intent that the Hengst Foundation signed. It would be saying, okay, we need the gas, water, electric, all that. What is your creative idea for this, Hengst Foundation? What do you guys bring to this table? Why should we put it on our riverfront? But yeah, it would be a total new thing for the riverfront, and those who I've talked to from the city council really enjoy it. So, yeah.
So who are those people that you did talk to?
Yeah, I've talked to Tim Regenbach. I have talked to Patrick Urich, who is the city manager. Tim Regenbach, obviously, he is the 3rd District City Council man, and they kind of have spoken for others, but throughout their discussion, this is exactly what they've been looking for.
Okay.
Both of them expect it to be approved, as they have talked about when it's approved and stuff like that.
Okay.
It will go to a vote. It has not been approved yet, but it will go to a vote. But I mean, they expect it will be.
Are we expecting this vote tomorrow, or is tomorrow just a presentation from Hancock Foundation?
So technically tomorrow is the vote of the full amphitheater itself.
Okay.
Obviously this is something that the amphitheater has not passed the past few times it's tried. So this is kind of something that may potentially hit home for the Hengst Foundation, something that they have tried for. They will vote to approve the letter of intent, which is the Hengst Foundation saying this is what we're going to do. We promise to do this and all that, to give them the money, to give them the funds. It's $11 million that they have stored for that, and it's just been sitting. That's what they want it for. So they will vote to approve that and to basically approve the amphitheater to give it the go-ahead for the planning stages. So ground will not be broken anytime soon, whether it is or isn't approved. But it is something that they are really both mutually working towards. So, yeah.
Right. Well, thank you, Alex, for that update.
Absolutely.
Now, here's a story that has had the newsroom talking. An interesting interaction at the Phillies and Marlins game in Miami on Friday. Phillies Harrison Bader hit a home run, and a man ran over to the ball to pick it up and gave the ball to his son. But then a lady near where the ball landed demanded the ball back.
Oh.
Eventually, the man gave it to her, and she walked away.
Yeah, this is, as you can see it right there, he was like totally startled by her, and she just like screams at him. And then he's like, all right, fine, here, take, goodbye. And then she like walks back. So the internet does not like this woman.
Didn't we just have a situation like another game? Somebody else's?
Yeah, I don't remember what game it was, but what is it? Is it not an unwritten rule that wherever you go,
The kids always get the ball.
the child gets the ball? Yeah, it was a jersey from like a soccer game or something.
Right.
Yeah, where the guy took it away. It was a CEO.
Right.
Even if you are any game, that's the rule.
That's the
You give it to the
unspoken rule,
kid.
kids.
Yes. Yeah, even me, 23, I give it to a kid. You know what I
Right.
mean? That ball is not mine. It's just a thing. Even if you catch it yourself.
You're supposed to give it to, especially if you and the kid are going after it at the same time. If you're just
Exactly.
lonely at a game, like no one's sitting around you, then it's yours. But if you're,
Unless Brianna's there, then give it to Brianna. That's just.
hey, it's funny.
That's a
This was
rule.
at a Marlins game because my uncle is a scout for Miami.
Is he really?
Yes, he used to. When I was younger, it was the Mariners, and then when I got a little older, like when I was in like high school to college, it was the Pirates, and now it's Miami.
So what I'm saying is that I have to show him my swing, right? I have to show him
Yes.
swing,
when
my-
I got the job and I told him he's stationed out of Memphis area. So
Yeah.
when I got the job and said I'm moving to Peoria, moving to work in Peoria, he said I was just in Peoria because he used to have to
for the
route.
Chiefs.
His route used to take him to the Chiefs. And then I moved up here and then they switched his route. So now I haven't gotten to see him at a Chiefs game. But
Oh, well-
yes, I have an uncle that is a
convince him that I can throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
will do.
Can't, but I can appreciate that. So,
But shout out
yes.
to my Uncle Al.
Shout out to Uncle Al. Thanks for watching.
He's probably on the road, but we've got one more local story for you when we return on Beyond the Headlines. We're sitting down with Austin Feeman to hear some safety tips for this harvest season. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Now we have our last local story of the day. As harvest season approaches, more farm vehicles will be using the roads. WMBD's Austin Feeman shows us now with more on how to keep you and farmers safe when sharing the road. So Austin, thank you for being here today.
Of course, of course.
Why is it important that we share the road with our farm vehicles?
Well, so, farming is such a big thing in Illinois.
Right.
Illinois is the top state in the country for producing soybeans, and they're second in the country for corn. So, that's a lot of farming going on.
Yes.
And with a lot of farming comes a lot of harvesting and a lot of vehicles on the road transporting all of those grains and whatnot. So, making sure that we can respect what they are doing, let them do their jobs, and we can work around them. It's stuff like that. Farming
Share the
feeds the
road.
world.
Hello.
Hello.
So
Farming
we
feeds
need
the world.
We need to share the road, just like we have the bicycle signs that say share the road.
Exactly.
So how can we keep ourselves safe when sharing the road with a farm vehicle?
Yeah, so if you happen to approach a farm vehicle, it is best practice to slow down and be aware of what's happening around you. Once you slow down and the farmer acknowledges your presence behind them, they will somehow acknowledge your presence. So
Right.
they will wave you on, or they'll pull over a little bit so you can pass. Once they wave you on, or they pull over, or they see you through their mirror or something, then if no other cars are coming, it is completely safe for you to pass them. And a lot of farm vehicles will be going slower than an average vehicle. They can go about 20 to 30 miles an hour, and on a
Okay.
country road, a lot of people are going 45, 50. You just have to make sure you see what's coming ahead of you and Yeah, and with a lot of farms too, there's a lot of entrances and
Right.
exits in random places out in the country
Right.
where they can pull off and off and on the road to get to their fields and whatnot. So just being aware and slowing down and making sure you know what's coming ahead of you will keep you safe and the farmers safe.
Well, speaking of best practices, when they are turning, what do we need to remember? Just like we have wide turns with semis, what do we need to remember with these farm vehicles?
Yeah, so it's almost the exact same thing with semis. You know, if you see a farm vehicle turning, it's best practice to give them as much space as they can, because they might need to swerve. If they're turning right, they might need to go into the left lane to make that turn. You know, they're driving really big vehicles, and sometimes they're a little hard to control and get around those tight corners. So giving them that space, making sure that they can get around that turn without hitting you, because nobody wants that. But yeah, and even in country roads, I mentioned this earlier, there's a lot of ins and outs for fields.
Right.
Making sure that you see them and they see you, slowing down and keeping everyone safe.
All right, well, Austin, thank you for those safety reminders.
Of course.
Well, now let's check this out. At the Taste of Chicago this weekend, Eli's Cheesecake made a grand entrance at the event. Each year, Eli celebrates its birthday by making a 1,000-pound cheesecake, then handing slices out for free. This year was cut by actress Sarah Ramos from The Bear and Chicago-born rapper Lupe Fiasco. Eli's is 45 this year. It had a stand at the very first Taste of Chicago in 1980 and remains the only original vendor.
Now, that's a big cheesecake.
It is.
But I'm not a cheesecake fan. I'm just going to say
You're not?
I'm not.
Not even like I have a specific flavor I'd eat.
Maybe key lime. Maybe.
It's funny they said you're canceled in my ear for that, but Austin and I during break were talking about we're going to have a show called Don't Cancel Me But. And cheesecake is going to be our #1 topic.
Because, okay, well, the Cheesecake Factory. Because why is their menu so big? Period. Why is it so big? Why do they have so many things on that menu? And how do they remember all of those things? It just does not make any sense to me. Zero.
Cheesecake is just not. Ugh. But I will go get like a strawberry cheesecake ice cream. I can take it in moderation.
I think I
For
could
like
do
a
that.
slice.
Yeah.
It's too much for me.
I'll take a bite, but I don't like an entire chunk of cheesecake in front of me. I just can't do it. I don't know what it is.
And their slices are huge.
They're huge. And just like their menu, everything there is just
huge.
ginormous
Big
for no reason. Like, can we have normal?
It's a wonder they have small plates on their menu. Everything's so
right? Like they have all that food in small plates and then giant cheesecakes. Makes no sense.
Well, thank you, Austin.
Of course.
And thank you for joining us today for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories and more over on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.